details, but I do believe some things, like doing unto others and following your dreams. When I'm feeling like it's over, I hang and think of you and what you do. I'm bruised. I cannot move this broken wing. I'll sit here and sing and think of you. This is my lullaby too. I cannot move, can't fly to you. My wings are bruised, they're bruised.
This is where the father and son saw the hubcap.
Right.
It was up there. And this was all wide open before. And the edge, yeah, that brush is still there. It was right here.
Yep.
It was right here because I remember my ex, we were parked, I think, up here. And I was down there by the pole trying to figure it out. And I asked her, you know, where, any idea where she was? This is 97. She's standing here, right here. Like that. How'd you know that? She wouldn't answer. They told me that there was skeletal remains.
Right.
Nothing on the skeleton. But then I was told that there was skin and her hair was on it. Some of her teeth were found under her body. They were not in the skull.
Well, that could be from animals.
Blunt force trauma. You die with your teeth in, they
Yeah,
don't pop
and
out.
they don't pop out.
And the animals don't go after that. I was told that her teeth were found under her body. There was also a knife that was found under her body. It reminded me, they showed me, Lieutenant Homicide. He showed me it. It looked like a carpet cutting knife. It had like a broom handle, type of handle, about yay long, and then the metal part with a straight razor hanging out this way.
So
it was all dirt and everything. It looked handmade, but it was all dirty. I couldn't really, he didn't let me touch it. It was labeled as part of the case.
Yeah.
Okay. We were shown the sneakers, the 2 necklaces, and keys. I recognized the sneakers, so I knew it was her. Because we were called in on the 7th. And let's see. Then we left. Then we were called in, I think, a week after that. And we were brought into separate rooms, interrogated. We didn't know. We were bringing the evidence that we found in the house. And we were brought into separate rooms and interrogated. And they had me labeled as who killed him. And they wanted me to go for a lie detector test. So, and my ex was in the other room. I don't know, she wouldn't tell me what she talked about. I found out later when they asked her where I was that night. She said, I don't know. He wasn't in bed all night. Allison can prove that I was in bed, okay? And her mother went to bed later, because that night we had friends over, Pam, was her name, but her kids. They're playing hide and go seek outside. I fell asleep in the chair. Pam and Allison kicked me in the foot, told me, get up, go to bed. Because I always fell asleep in a recliner. And that was right in front of the front door. I got up, all the lights are on in the house, pitch black outside. I'd say, I don't know, 9, 10, 10:30 around that time. I yelled, nobody answered. I'm going to bed. So I went to bed. I have no idea if she went to bed, my ex. No idea. When I get up in the morning, I get up at 6:30, 7 o'clock, because I was working up in Northampton. And I always made my lunch. She was already up.
Right.
And made my lunch. I left. About 8:30, 9 o'clock, I get a phone call. Tammy's missing. Come home. So I asked, did you call the police? No, not yet. Why not? I called my mother. So when I get to the house, the police had already been there. The report was on the table. Her mother was there. And my ex was going batty. They were going to label her as a runaway. My ex argued. So the officer put on the paperwork missing. That's when Officer a youth averil back then. I was constantly in contact with him.
Right.
And he sent, I told him that we found the diaries in the filing cabinet. So he said, okay, I'm going to send some officers over. I went to work. I guess 2 officers, plainclothes, came over, took those, went through the bedroom, found some other things, and left. Nobody took their names, badge numbers, or anything. So I called Officer Taylor back, and he said, did the officers go there? And I said, yeah, that's what my ex said, that they were here. Well, what were their names? I don't know. He had no record of any material. The diaries and everything he didn't have. So he started looking, I called him back, and no, he couldn't find nothing. It was all missing. And he didn't know any idea who came to the house to pick stuff up. So that's right there is when all the rigmarole started. I got there about 20, 30 minutes early. And a woman was in the office. She looks at me, goes back, looks at me again, goes back. Can I help you? I said, I'm here for a lie detector test. What's your name? Oh, you're not due for another 20 minutes. Why are you so early? I don't like being late.
Right.
So they gave me 3 tests. Not one, they gave me 3. Various questions. So I asked her, so what's your conclusion? Inconclusive. But what happened? I said, I don't know. And that's how I answered her.
Right.
So it was classified inconclusive.
I think that.
But that's how they find things and how they spill their guts.
Yeah.
By emotions.
Yep.
And that's what I'm hoping is going to start happening after 25 years.
Yep.
Right.
With you guys questioning people and Allison questioning people. I've been trying to question, they won't talk to me. And what Allison found out, I don't know if she told you, that the DA's office got the okay for questioning kids. The relative or friend of Tim told him. He told being friends, contacted the police, okay, and it was like a big loop. And they told all the kids, are now adults, that they were going to be questioned.
Before they were questioned.
Before they were questioned.
Yeah, that's weird.
And from everything that, with the pit idea, that all I know is Tammy was dared out by somebody. By, well, from her diary notes, it sounded like it was her boyfriend.
Yes.
I always thought.
Yep.
But now, what I understand, David was her boyfriend.
Okay.
And, well, really both of them. And she was playing a game between them.
Yep.
But she was basically starting to date David at the time when she disappeared. I thought all this time it was Rick.
Yep.
And so I went by assumption that Rick dared her out the week before. I figured it was him again. And I assume she came down through the woods where the houses are now, because there were a lot of bike trails over there, and went up the road to Rick's. And I asked Allison, where do you usually walk?
Right straight
Along the road.
across.
On this side of the road, they walk. It's like the dirt's kind of mound along the road. They would walk on that heap to a certain point. Then they would cut down through the woods here and cross over here, and then cut up through. That's what Allison said. We went down the bank about 3 telephone poles lengths from here. We got that close. And come in here, I'll show you. It's all ferns now, but it's all swamp in there. And the brook is over that way from that spot where we came down, and it was all muck.
Yep.
No growth. No leaves, no nothing.
Now you're talking about here where the pit is, this thing.
That way of the pit.
Oh, over there.
Toward the bank.
Okay.
Yep.
But when you would first come into the woods.
When you come down the bank from the road,
Yep.
you're in the swamp.
Yeah, it's a swamp.
That's as far as I went.
Yep.
I didn't know any of this other area in here
Yep.
until today. My ex found out where all the kids lived. She made a map, and she labeled the names where all the kids lived. Allison's got all my paperwork. Because my ex, it's all from my ex.
So you guys basically have had to do your own detective work.
My ex, I wouldn't call it detective work. Everything came at her.
Yep.
She didn't do any hunting or anything. I'm the only one that searched.
Yep.
Because everybody told me she's hiding, she's missing, she's a runaway. So I started searching. I went around the wood area where Kmart used to be.
Yeah.
When you go from the main door at Kmart, if you go down the parking lot, the wooded area over to the right.
Yep.
I went in there. Tons of homeless people in there.
Oh yeah.
And did its thing.
As we suspect this as well.
Yeah, I think there's people sleeping here.
Well, I didn't see any signs of it.
I think they're on this side.
I didn't go that way.
Yeah.
Well, I went in a little bit.
We've seen different signs
Well,
of things. If you walk through, you've seen different signs of things laying on the ground. People have physically
Water
been
bottles.
there.
I just saw.
Food bottles as well. Olives, pickles, stuff you would eat that you could keep in water to keep it cold, or something like that. More like survival, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why I would think they would be homeless.
And back then, the logs went from here. There were 3 logs.
Yep.
From there that way. And there were probably from this post to here long, each one.
alright guys, so I had to switch out to Mr. Lynn's phone. Luckily, he had something that had batteries in it because my camera died. I've already heard Scared come out of the spirit box, and we're going to continue the session right now. Alright guys, we're going to start this up. Here we go. Tammy, you can talk to her. Bill, it said Bill, and I've been getting Bill. Did you say Bill or yes? I've never gotten a response this strong, ever.
Hey, Tammy.
Come on. You were.
I was what?
Nice. Or it might have said my dad.
Take the... Bring... Oakland.
Blue Rock. Tammy, are you telling us what happened?
Savings. Appreciate.
Bye, Tammy.
More information. This kind of...
Tammy, is there a song you like to... Can you tell us how you passed?
For a little.
For little. Tammy, we're...
Get one.
Tammy, were you murdered?
Agreed.
She responsible for you.
It's checked. Flash was completely.
Tammy, is there anything you'd like to say to your father?
I put a card on the phone for you.
No. Daddy. I think I heard family.
What about the family?
Said asleep. Is his name Steve? Steele. Tammy, what do I keep seeing? Me. I keep seeing something over there. And I ask, what do I keep seeing? And it says, me. It's right above us. A freaking giant plane.
It was smart.
Next month.
Next month.
Yeah.
What about next month? You said blue? Jamie, I thought it was an honor to meet your father.
Public.
Public.
Republic. Are you a Republican?
No, it said public.
Oh, I thought it said Republican.
By luck.
Somebody lied. The guy lied.
What guy, Tammy? Can you give us his name nice and clear?
Welcome.
Welcome.
Daddy's here.
I know. Tammy, were those panties yours that we found? Can you give me a clear yes or no? I know it's hard. Tammy, we don't got much time, so if there's something you could tell us. Can you tell us, was your death a murder or accident?
Go.
Do you know how you passed?
Like it's just
Yes.
it's
How did you pass?
How did you die? Remember how you died?
Anything you'd like to ask her before we go?
I'm going to take this call for you. Work with these people. Help them out.
Thanks for talking to us, Sammy. So, you want to say goodbye for now? Yeah. That was pretty cool.
I said running scared as soon as we opened it up.